Hello, my friends. I am the Shadow Teacher talking to you on this unseasonably warm winter's day. And before I made this video, before I decided to go grab my phone, I thought I'd turn the synchronicity key. As all was quiet outside, just hearing the beautiful serenade of the birds singing. But now, as I actually am filming, we have a bit of a cacophony. We have a mixture of atonal, cacophonous noise from garbage trucks, people banging on shit in the street, hawks, birds singing, the beauty of all that, beauty of nature, all mixed into this one very interesting tasting soup. And that goes a little bit into the topic that I'm going to share with you in this video, and that is the nature of suffering. Now, the old Buddhist idea is that suffering is rooted in desire. Maybe that's true. There's definitely some truth to that. But I want to share my perspective on suffering. I find much of my own suffering has been rooted in the meaning I would associate with events and experiences and the stories that I tell myself. And some of that has been learned from adults as a child. Some of it comes from past lives and previous generations of tendencies from my family, from my bloodline. But when I have gone into patterns, when I've gone into patterns of suffering and wondering, I would say to myself, if I only had what this person over here had, if I had a girlfriend like that, or a job like that, or if only this particular, in my specific situation, if only this promoter decided to get behind my band, just like they did this other band over here, then my life would be more successful and I'd be happier. I wouldn't be suffering in the way I am right now. And maybe this is true. Success is always a good thing. We always, I believe, should strive to be successful, so should strive for expansion and growth. But we hear these stories of people who seem to have it all, have these great lives of all the success in the world, and yet their relationships end in divorce a lot of times. And sometimes the ultimate tragedy happens where these people feel so disillusioned that they take their own lives. People who have everything, who've climbed all the mountains of success in the world. So the story that I have been telling myself would clearly be not true, sort of looking at the end of the life of someone. And even situations too. It's like when I met people who had success on the outside, who were famous, and when I got to know them, got to see behind the curtains, I said, wow, they're kind of fucking miserable. They a lot of times wish they could go back to simpler times. But all this comes, it's not necessarily, I believe, the trappings of success nor simplicity. I definitely don't think poverty is the answer, but I do believe the meaning that we assign, more beautiful sounds, some sirens to go into the symphony. But as I was saying, the meaning that we assign to our experience and our circumstances, and the information that we gather from our circumstances, and the meaning, and then what we choose to do with it. So what I've noticed with me is I've done a lot of inner work in the past few years, and many circumstances, external circumstances that have been familiar to me for many, many years throughout my life keep showing up. But the way I show up to them has been different. And after doing this inner work and observation and being clear on my purpose, knowing my strengths, knowing what I value, valuing myself and knowing that I am an intelligent, competent, capable person and can figure shit out when I need to, I've been able to navigate these challenges differently. And in the way that I've been currently navigating some of the same old challenges, the same old situation, it's been causing considerable less suffering for me. Though my outside world may look very similar on some ways, my internal world is very different. And the state that I approach the world is very different. The energy that I'm able to bring. Just like today, right now, I have a choice. This is the time that I have to make this video regardless. It's either do it now, do it here. I guess I could have gone inside, but I wanted to enjoy this beautiful day. And I could choose to be distracted by all the noise, all the sounds of people working on tearing up the street, people working on their houses, the noise of the garbage trucks, the sirens, or I could focus on the beautiful sun, this nice wind that I feel, the symphony of birds behind me. And through this practice of directing my attention, I've been able to, again, just in this video, keep my energy up, keep my state, that positive vibe up without being pulled and getting frustrated and saying, oh, fuck, this is my time. Had this special idea being outside and was going to give the perfect, serene, transcendental effect, and now all these people are coming to fuck it up. And I know I've made videos in the past, and I would literally say those words. So, again, it's a choice. Choice what we choose to focus on, what we choose to feed, what we choose to water. My ex-girlfriend used to say to me, when I would get frustrated, she would quote Thich Nhat Hanh when I would go into a negative state, or I'm a very cynical person, and actually will find humor in certain things that people would say are negative. I have a dark sense of humor, and my girlfriend would get triggered, my ex-girlfriend would get triggered by that, and she would say, what are you choosing to water? And that was sort of annoying in that particular circumstance, because that was just kind of the way I dealt with things. I laughed about dark things because that's how I am, but she was not totally wrong. There was wisdom in those words of what we choose to water. We can choose to water circumstances that are beyond our control, that are going to deplete our internal resources, that are going to show up anyway, or we could look to the good. Again, that mantra, where do I find a little bit of ease? Listen to the birds singing. Feel the sunshine. Feel the wind blowing through your hair. And again, wisdom from my grandmother. My grandmother always used to say, I always look forward to hearing the birds sing in the morning. And there's true wisdom and blessings in that. So with that being said, with the brakes of the garbage truck behind me, I'm going to end this video because the time has come to say farewell. Be strong, be well, my friends, and I'll see you on the other side.